Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashim, Shai Bashim, God Bashim. Shalom to the hopefully left out there. I'm going to entitle this video, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. This is from Joel 3, verse 19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, with the violence against the children. Now should be the sons of Judah, Yahweh, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. So when you read Joel, the 3rd chapter, from the first verse on down, it's a beautiful chapter. It kind of reminds me of Ezekiel 37 chapter 37 chapter, one of my favorite prophetic scriptures. I mean, all of them I love the scriptures, but one of the ones that stick out to me. So this Joel kind of sounds like Ezekiel. So, when you read from the first verse of Joel 3 and 1, excuse me, it speaks about the desolation of Esau, also known as the Greeks, and the nations round about them, the Ishmaelites and the other nations, Moab, they're all going into captivity. But Esau, the Edomites, are first on the list. Then in the third verse of Joel, the 3rd chapter, it goes into us being sold into slavery. Now, when the Edomites, Europeans, if you look this up, it's called it wasn't called the transatlantic slave trade. It was called the transatlantic trade or something like that. Let me do this. Give me a second, because it wasn't just slaves. Transatlantic Okay, let's deal with transatlantic slave trade. Let me go to images. See, it wasn't just, they didn't just trade people, but let me bring this up. Triangular trade. You had goods, manufactured goods from Europe, go down into West Africa. So what they did was they had trinkets and wine and all type of things mentioned in Joel 3 and 3, because they needed to trade for the slaves. Mirrors, things that these other nations didn't make, that the Europeans made. So that was in the form. They didn't give them money so much. They gave them things. They gave them wine. They gave mustard guns. They gave them beads. They gave them, all types of things. And then they got the slaves. And then from there, these manufactured goods, enslaved Africans, which are Israelites coming from the West. You still have Israelites. Israelites are all up and down the West Coast, and in the areas of Africa too. Even even in Egypt and Sudan and Ethiopia. Remember, we were scattered throughout the whole planet. But mainly the slaves came out of here. The slave trade took place on the West Coast. The bulk of the Israelites were. So enslaved Africans came to the Americas, and they were sold on auction blocks. And then you had raw materials to come back to Europe, so the Europeans can manufacture more goods. You manufacture something, you have to start with raw materials. So each part of this journey, they were benefiting, they were profiting. That's why these people became super rich through manufactured goods, enslaved Africans, raw materials, going back to make more manufactured goods. So that's also as a triangular trade. The slave part was only a part of the trade. So now let's come back over here. And there's many scriptures to justify the fact that they put us into captivity. That's why you got to read this whole chapter. And as you get down to like the 9th verse, it speaks about because you put us into slavery from the 3rd verse, really from the 1st verse, Joel 3 on down to the 8th verse, going into the 9th. The 9th verse goes into how the Most High is going to gather the nation. So we're in the fulfillment of really the 9th verse. This is yet to be fulfilled. The 19th verse is yet to be fulfilled. The 19th, 20, 21st verse, a couple of verses above that. Judah will be blessed, and the blessing will be the kingdom. And it goes into the kingdom. This is talking about the kingdom. And also Edom and Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. It's not talking about ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt didn't necessarily slaughter us. They used us as slaves. You stayed alive as long as you did the work. And they forced you to do the work. They didn't slaughter. The Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians did not say, well, let's just kill all the Israelites. That would be stupid. That's like Esau saying, let's take these slaves to America, or these Israelites, or these Africans, whatever you want to call them, and let's just kill them. What? That's like you buying a brand new car and setting the car on fire. That's stupid. That's counterproductive. The Egyptians didn't do that, and Edom didn't necessarily do that, but they did kill us when we didn't do the right thing. You got killed, you got whipped. And Rome was a fulfillment of Edom getting their vengeance. That's in Ezekiel. The Romans came up against us. Those were the Edomites. And the main individuals that say that are these small hat scholars, these Hebrew scholars, or these Jewish scholars. They say that. The top ones, they'll say, and I did videos on that the Romans are descended from the Edomites. That's the Edomite kingdom. So when they came against Israel, that was a fulfillment of what they knew who they were. The super elite know that they're the Edomites. The super elite know that they're going into captivity. The super elite know that we're the Israelites. The super elite know that the prophets are here now in this time. The super elite is talking about Ariel being, passing on. They're talking about it just like we talking about it. Them super elites talking about it. And I was talking to Apostle Ricard earlier today, and he said he did a class and just touching base with me about. Mainly, he was calling about Shaw, which is Elder Shaw, High Priest Shaw, which y'all don't know him too good, but he was like he was with he's one of the seven, by the way. So Ricard said, what about Shaw? Is he all right? Because we got to take care of him. And I said, no, he's all right. He's all right. If he's not, will the Most High notify us, on that. So we were talking about that, Aria passing. But like I said, like all of us were talking about it, doing videos on it. Guess what? The elite were talking about it too. Can I prove that? No. But they watch everything that we do because they know that we're the prophets. They know that we're the Israelites. They know that they have a short time. Revelation 12. Anyway, it says, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. Now, these Christian scholars, and I'm going to go to that. I'm going to go to the commentary. They talk about Egypt like it's ancient Egypt, and Edom like it's a whole nother place. Now, a whole nother people, excuse me. Now, we know that this is a future prophecy because you got the 18th verse, it talks about the kingdom. And then it talks about Edom. What's going to happen to the Judah or the Israelites? They're going to receive a kingdom. What's going to happen to Egypt and the Edomites? Which the Edomites are spiritual Egypt, Revelation 11. So it says, Egypt shall be a desolation, which is Babylon the Great, and Edom, Babylon the Great, shall be a desolate wilderness for the vengeance against the sons of Yahweh, which is all Israel, but mainly Yahweh. Why did it say Yahweh or Judah and not all of Israel? Because the northern kingdom was not there when the Babylonians, when Esau said, raise it even to the foundation thereof, they were the ones that burnt down the temple. That's in the Apocrypha. Because if I'm not mistaken, I hadn't gone through it in a while. If I'm not mistaken, it's in First Ezra chapter 4, if I'm not mistaken. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. It says, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. And that's mainly Edom. Okay, let me open up, bring this over. Okay. Okay, what I got to do is this here. Okay, here it is right here. First Ezra 4, verse 44. It says, and to send away all the vessels that were taken away out of Jerusalem which Cyrus set apart when he vowed to destroy Babylon and to send them again thither. Thou also hast vowed to build up the temple that went to Cyrus, which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the what? By the Chaldees. So it was the Edomites that burnt and they killed a lot of our people, and they said, "Oh, there goes the Israelite, get them." And they would have made the Edomites were the ones that made the statement, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. Like, burn it down, even to the foundation, just burn it, even the foundation. So Edom was the main ones that was behind it. That's why when you go to Psalms 137, it mentions Babylon and Edom. Because you're the new Babylon. You're the daughter of Babylon. Okay, so now let's go to the commentary. And I read through, a lot of these commentaries were short. So let's read through some of them. I'm not going to be long on this. It says, this is Cambridge for Bible for schools and colleges. The land of Yahweh does foes, on the contrary, will become a barren waste, which is Babylon the Great. Revelation 18, Isaiah 13, Isaiah 14, Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51, Jeremiah 49. Egypt and Edom are mentioned probably as typical examples of countries hostile to Israel. Egypt is mentioned because Edom is spiritual Egypt. Spiritually, Sodom and Egypt. The enemy on top right now are the Edomites. And Joel 3 verse 19, when it speaks about the Edomites, it's talking about a future prophecy. So this proves that the Edomites are still here. Any scholar will tell you that the book of Joel is a prophetic book. If you tell them to go to, matter of fact, let me do this. Let me go to Joel 3 verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And that's what's happening right now. You see Biden, he went over there to certain parts, he went to France and he went to Kyiv. And then he made speeches concerning NATO coming together. NATO has to come together because he's preparing them for war. On the other side, you got China in the news, you got China, Russia, and Africa doing military drills. Then you got the BRICS nations. So this is a preparation for war. So let's see let's see if this already took place. Joel 3 and 9. Because if you say it already took place, then you can say, the 19th verse took place too. But if they say it is a future event, which we know it to be, then the 19th verse is also a future event. That proves that the Edomites are still here, vocab Malone. And I was watching your last video with the dude, whatever his name is, Mike Williams, whatever his name is. He looks nervous, man. He in the back of mind, he's like, I hope this is not true. He looks nervous. You gotta watch the last video that vocab did with this guy. Let me do this, and I might even go to that. Anyway, so this is Joel 3, verse 9. Proclaim leaders among the Gentiles, prepare a war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Goes on to say, beat your, pruning hooks, and let the weak say, I'm strong. Proclaim ye, the words are addressed to those whose duty it would be to make such a proclamation, i.e., the heralds. The word heralds mean prophets, whom the prophet pictures as ready to carry Jehovah's command to the nations. Sanctify, consecrate, meaning make holy. War, right? Because this is going to be a holy war, because this is the Most High's war. Begin war, the phrase having a reference to the custom of opening a campaign by means of sacrifice. Isaiah 34. This is, and I said this is United States, America, Babylon will be a burnt sacrifice. So Micah 3 and 5, Jeremiah 6 and 4, Isaiah 13 and 3. Let's see, Jeremiah 13 and 3. Isaiah 13 and 3. I commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones the angels. The sanctified ones are the prophets. For my anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. So they're telling you that this is a future prophecy, that Joel 3:19 is a future prophecy. Jeremiah 51:27 and 28. Set you up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her. Her is Babylon. Call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat. What the hell is this? I can hardly see this. Appoint a captain against her, cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. Caterpillars eat things up. It's like the missiles are going to eat things up. Stir up the mighty man, i.e., arouse the warriors from the inactivity of peace. So the Middle East, Russia, the Ukraine, that area is getting stirred up. It's getting stirred up. Euphrates is drying up as we speak. With a dramatic change of person, such as the Hebrew poets love. Isaiah 34 and 1, beautiful, beautiful. Isaiah 34, that's a beautiful. That's the burnt sacrifice of Babylon the Great. Isaiah 41 and 1, let draw near, let them come up, consists of two short words only, the second following rapidly upon the first. The concise and forcible style can be better represented in Greek or Latin. The expression used of an attacking or invading army after the aggression on the Phoenicians, which are the Canaanites, and the Philistines, which are Egyptians. The thought of Joel 3, verse 1 to 3 is resumed, and the description of the judgment on the nations announced in Joel 3 and 2 is continued, the heathen are invited to arm themselves and advance for the great contest with Israel in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Joel 3 and 9. Beautiful. Joel 3 and 9. So they're telling you that this is a future prophecy. This is yet to happen. Proclaim you this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. But one arrived there, they are annihilated. This place is going to be annihilated. Let's look that word up. Amid celestial portents, the angels, by the agents of Yahweh's will, whom he commissions. When you commission something, you give the order. Okay, go ahead. You can go ahead and do it. I give you the blessing. Go ahead and take this place out. To engage with them, with his own people, look on securely. So I want to look up the word annihilate. Annihilate definition. Oh, look at that. Annihilate. Look at they show you. A picture speaks 1,000 words. Annihilate, meaning to destroy completely. Synonymous, destroy, eradicate, wipe out, extinguish. Annihilation occurs when this happens. Complete destruction after a bomb. Definition: to destroy completely. Right. This is they annihilated the people of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So Egypt will not be annihilated. Egypt is code for Babylon the Great, which is code for the U.S. It says past tense, annihilated, past, destroyed, utterly, obliterate. A simple bomb of this type could annihilate them all, defeat utterly. Let's see what Merriam-Webster has to say. To cause to cease to exist. Desolate wilderness. Joel 3 verse 19. To do away with entirely, so that nothing remains. To destroy or a considerable part of, to defeat overwhelmingly. There shall not neither be any remaining branch or root of Esau. To cause to be of no effect, to destroy the substance or force of, to regard as of no consequence. To cause something such as a particle and its antiparticle to vanish or cease to exist. and this place will cease to exist. And these elites know this. That's why I said the devil shall come down upon you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. And let me come back to and the lake of fire is the U.S. on fire, Babylon on fire. Okay, I'm finishing up. I'm getting in the habit of not making super long videos. And I read most of these. 80% of these I read. Let me see. Okay, Cambridge Bible for Schools and Colleges. The land of Yahweh or Judah, foes, on the contrary, will become a barren waste. Egypt and Edom. Well, Egypt is Edom, and Edom is Egypt, are mentioned probably as typical examples of countries hostile to Israel. No. Egypt is code for Edom. This is the new Egypt. Revelation 11. The threat in the case of Egypt is the more pointed, as it was in general well irrigated by the waters of the Nile. It may be, that shows you that they don't know, they look at Egypt and they're going in that direction. They ain't talking about Egypt, it's talking about Babylon the Great, Assyria, Sodom, spiritually Sodom and Egypt, Nineveh, the land of Edom. It may have been perhaps suggested by Ezekiel 29 and 9, and the land of Egypt shall be desolate and waste, and they shall know that I am Yahweh, because he has said, the river is mine and I have made it. Now you have these certain scholars that say that the river of Egypt, which is the Nile, they compare it to I believe they said the Mississippi in America. So you got some people that say, well, this is the new Egypt because of the river in America, the great Mississippi. This is Ezekiel 29, verse 12. And I will make the land of Egypt desolate in the middle of the countries that are desolate, and her cities among the cities that are laid waste shall be desolate 40 years. Now it says 40 years, so it's talking about something happened in ancient Egypt. So the 40 years, but we know it's talking about this place. Ezekiel 32 and 15. This is definitely talking about America, Babylon. When I shall make the land of Egypt desolate, and future tense, and the country shall be destitute of that whereof it was full. People still go to Egypt. Egypt is still here. So if ancient Egypt is still here, people go to take tours over there. The tourists go over there, they take pictures, and then they go to McDonald's and Wendy's, which is right behind the pyramids. So Egypt is still here, but the Arabs control Egypt now, and they're saying that they're the people. Some Arabs over there saying that we are the pharaohs, that those are no, those are the people of Sudan, which is south of Egypt. So they don't even know that. So Egypt is still here. So if Egypt is not destroyed to this day, that means, guess what? Edom is not destroyed. Edom is still here. We identified the Edomites. Read that again. Ezekiel 32, verse 15. When I shall make the land of Egypt desolate, and the country shall be destitute of that whereof it was full. When I shall smite all them that dwell therein, then shall they know that I am the Lord. So where are people saying, "Oh, Egypt was destroyed. Now we know about the Lord"? No, this is getting ready to happen. What these Christian scholars don't understand is Egypt and Edom are one and the same. Okay, Joel, a desolate wilderness. Let's go to Joel 2 and 3. A fire devour before them, and behind them a flame burns. The fire before them represents the warhead. The flame behind them represents the delivery system, which is the rocket, the missile. The land is as the Garden of Eden, meaning you had people living there. Before them and behind them, a desolate wilderness, meaning after the missiles hit, any living thing is going to be dead. The trees are going to be dead. The grass is going to be dead. The soil is going to be scorched. There will be no life whatsoever. Now you might say, well, in Isaiah 34, what is that, 16? It speaks about the various animals. What about those animals, those beasts that's going to be there? And that's also Revelation 18. Well, that's talking about after the smoke clears, when it becomes a desert. The only things that are going to be there are these desert-like creatures. It says a desolate wilderness, yes, and nothing shall escape them. So this is yet to happen. Because they have shed innocent blood in their land. That was Esau that did that. Mainly during the time of the Babylonian captivity. The expression hardly points to bloodshed in warfare, but rather to the sudden and unprovoked massacre of Israelites who were settled and living peaceably in the two countries named possibly at the time of the revolt. And like I said, it keeps mentioning Judah. It doesn't mention Israel or the northern kingdom because the northern kingdom was not there. Okay, this is a beautiful one. I'm going to read this and then I'm going to close it. Ellicott's commentary for English readers: Egypt shall be a desolation. Egypt and Edom, which is the same place, one and the same, always excited feelings of abhorrence in the hearts of the Jews or the Israelites. The memory of the exile in Egypt was always fresh and keen. No retrospect. That's why the Most High refers to this place as Egypt. Because what Esau is doing to us now is what Egypt did to us back then. The main reason why we were here, why we were brought over here, was to serve slavery, was to work for free. Esau didn't bring us over here to say, well, let's bring him over here and let's kill him. That's stupid. Like I said in the beginning of this video, you buy a brand new car, then you set it on fire, you're stupid. It says of retrospect of their past history could leave it out of account. And the national detestation of the false and cruel hatred, cruel-hearted Idumeans. This is a scholar. He says the Idumeans are cruel-hearted people. The false and cruel-hearted Idumean kinsman is called by Obadiah in his prophecy and touching record. as also in Psalms 137, raise it even to the foundation thereof, as rendered in, and then in Psalms 137, it mentions Babylon and Edom, as rendered in the prayer book. Remember the sons of Edom, or the children of Edom, O Lord Yahweh, in the day of Jerusalem. That's talking about when they burned down the temple and they were killing Israelites, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, in the Babylonian captivity. How they said, down with it, even to the ground. Burn it, even to the ground. Oh, this one, Barnes notes on the Bible. It mentions Edom over here. Then it gives you a whole list of scriptures. Obadiah 1, verses 10 to 14, Ezekiel 25 and 12, beautiful. We already know this by heart. Ezekiel 35, you should start at 5. Ezekiel 36 and 5, Lamentation 4:22, start at 20, 21. Psalms 137, we all know these scriptures by heart. See the note in Amos 1 and 11. That's the scripture when they say, well, Esau, our brothers. Well, when you go to Amos 1 and 11, it says they're not our brothers anymore. They're the enemy. The land in which Egypt and Edom shed the innocent blood of the children of Judah. Well, another thing is the Egyptians didn't attack Judah. The Egyptians enslaved all the 12 tribes, which was 13 at the time. You had Dan and you had Levi. So let's read this again. The land in which Egypt and Edom shed the innocent blood of the children of Judah, meaning Egypt and Edom are one and the same. May either be Edom, Egypt, or Judea. If the land was Judea or Yahweh, the sin is aggravated by its being God's land. That's Ezekiel 36. We just read that. Or you can read the precept. These two countries are ours in possession. These two lands are ours in possession. The possession of which they were disputing with the Most High. If it was Egypt and Edom, then it was probably the blood of those who took refuge there, or as to Edom, of prisoners delivered up to them. It says, see the note at Amos 1 and 9. Yeah, that's this. When you start at the 9th verse and read to the 11th verse, that shows you that Esau is not our brother anymore. Anyway, with that, I'm saying, Shalom.